the only gym in the same fashion here in Copenhagen. There are also other gyms.
Yes.
In 3?
Yes, 3 main gyms doing CrossFit.
One is, I think, the biggest CrossFit gym in the world. Is this right?
I would imagine it is one of the biggest with 1,000 members or more. CrossFit Copenhagen is a huge place, yes.
Okay. How does that function in one city?
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
CrossFit has grown really fast and grown a lot not only in Copenhagen but in Denmark in general. There's a lot of CrossFit gyms across the country now, and I think a lot of people are just ready for a change. They are fed up with the fitness industry. They're fed up with the big chains, providing the same training, or rather not providing any training, just a set of machines that you can use on your own initiative, and no knowledge really. I'm not saying that there's not skilled and knowledgeable trainers in the fitness industry. Of course there is, but not many. And often, customers do not really meet that. They don't see that. They're very much on their own, right? And I think a lot of people tell me that they're just bored. They're just bored. They've been in a fitness center for 6 months or more without any results. And eventually they start looking for something else. And then CrossFit is a very good entrance to real training, so to speak, a more functional training, or whatever you would call it. I mean, at least a training based on the best experience we have. I mean, we know that all the top athletes train with equipment like this, they train this way, and why shouldn't average people, so to speak, train the same way? They might not train as often, they might not train with loads as heavy, but they should basically train the same way. And I just think more and more people are aware of that. And that's so CrossFit is kind of getting these people together. Yeah, okay. Yeah. They find a place where they can go.
As I came to Copenhagen, I couldn't believe this, that over 1,000 members in one gym here. I think, how could that be? Could that be something to do with the mentality of the Danish people? Because I see there are so many riding bikes. I don't see any fat people in Copenhagen.
We do have them, though. Yeah. That's for sure.
It's
but yeah. I don't know what the explanation is. I mean, apparently people are ready for a change, and of course the internet helps a lot. I mean, Danes, as I guess most people, spend a lot of time on the internet seeking out information, and there's a lot of information about not just CrossFit, or all kinds of interesting and challenging training methods, and a lot of people they've been looking for or waiting for a place where they could do those things, right? So whether it's especially Danish, I don't know. It's interesting because CrossFit has not grown really in Germany, to my knowledge, and it really surprises me because there's not really a CrossFit gym in Berlin or Hamburg or any of the other big cities, and that's strange because I would expect that it was a huge market in Germany as well. But CrossFit has not grown in Sweden as well to the same extent as in Denmark or Norway for that matter. For some reason, I think maybe a part of the reason is that there were some very passionate people that started out CrossFit here, did a lot of work to build this community. That's what Germany needs. And, a handful of people that really want to do this. And then you can build not just CrossFit, but any intelligent ways of training, I would say. Because I'm not saying that CrossFit is the solution. CrossFit is a good group class model, and it introduces people to well-proven exercises such as squat, press, deadlift, pull-ups, all the basics that are the foundation of all athletic training. And from CrossFit, with CrossFit as a starting point or a vehicle to, people can kind of go in other directions. And that's what we do in this gym as well. We're about a lot more than CrossFit, as we just talked about. We're doing Sea Health, we're working with Charles Poliquin's methods. We're working with an array of different training methods and methodologies to provide our clients with the best possible results. And so CrossFit is not the end of training, or definitely not. I know some people would claim that, but that's not true. And here we try to expose them to a lot of ways of improving their physique and achieving their results. I mean, again, you're back to results. If you have a goal, how can we help you to achieve that goal? That's what this place is about.
What are your goals for the next time, for the next year?
That's a good question. I mean, I think one of our goals, of course, is to develop the business, to make the business solid enough, because you've only been going for a year, and a year is not a long time in business. Everybody who's tried that, whether it's a small or big business, knows that it takes time. And so we're still learning, learning from our mistakes, learning from what we've done right, and trying to get all of that together to create an even better gym.
Is it allowed to ask for your mistakes?
I think, that's a good question. What are the mistakes? I think one of the mistakes we've made is that we want too much. And we wanted everything because we were so enthusiastic and passionate about what we do, and we just wanted to provide the best possible experience for everybody. But that's not really possible. You have to focus on certain things and become very good at that. So what we have understood and learned is, and I'm quoting Polygren here, that we should strive for excellence and ignore everything else, ignore success. Just try to be as good as we can possibly be. That's why we're doing the Sea Health courses, that's why we're doing the Charles Polygren courses, and all kinds of seminars and trainings that are relevant to what we want to do. We do that because it helps us to be as good as possible. And I think the long-term survival of this place, or future of this place, is based on skill, knowledge and experience. And that's our focus.
How did it come that you could host the Sea Health certification?
Yeah, well, we were actually asking whether we could, because Kenneth J, who is one of the main figures behind Sea Health in Denmark, and who is in the master training program, we talked a lot with him, and have a good relationship with Kenneth, and he asked us if we could host the Sea Health seminars, and of course we would love to. And it's been a very positive experience all the way through, to not only because of the skill and knowledge of the CARP, but also because of the people involved in Sea Health. And I'm not just thinking of CARP, Katie, and everybody else involved from the teaching side, but also people participating, you're from Germany, England, all over the world basically, like coming together in this gym and exchange knowledge, and that's quite fascinating, really unique. So we are happy that we hosted that gym.
Do you think Sea Health has a future in Europe to
I'm sure. I mean, Sea Health's future depends on Sea Health's ability to create results. Right, and I think Sea Health can create results. So
in your work practice, daily work practice, you made good experience.
Yeah, we have all implemented Sea Health in our working with our clients, and one of my colleagues is working a lot with Sea Health for treatment of injuries and pain. I'm using Sea Health more as a performance enhancement tool, so I integrate it into the other physical training I'm doing, and try to help people to become better.
In private sessions?
Yeah, in private sessions.
Only in private sessions?
Well, it's really hard to implement Sea Health in a group session, because you have to be so precise and so specific, and often the solution is individual. So if you have a group of 10-15 people, it's very hard to be precise and specific at an individual level. I mean, we can use the neural warm-up as a warm-up for the group class, but we cannot really make sure that everybody is doing it perfect. So that means that Sea Health has a limited value in a group. It has value, but it really comes into play when you work one-on-one with clients, because then you can target what you're doing to the need of that individual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eric, it was a really pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah.
And to see this fantastic gym.
Thank you.
So I strongly recommend to all the Germans who visit Copenhagen, visit this wonderful Paideia gym, and maybe you can participate in a training session. It's really, really worth it. Thank you, and I hope to be next year to join us.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure, and yeah, I know I'll see you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Looks like another fine day.